Thank you. Yeah, married. You're a second or no? No. Hashem, no, a second. Maybe it's a third. No, why not? I think it's second. You don't feel a second. There's something wrong with you. Was it mad, more important? Yeah, it was. You always know. It's always find out. No, you got it. Yeah, no. You're very nice. You're not there. Yes, and everybody's got third family. Don't go back. Here's your day for the next. Try her. You're happy for you. You might have heard. You're climbing. They think yeah, that's it's just I put for the receiving house on the inside. Right. This fellow so great. So here's why. Well. Okay, I'm gonna make give me 5 minutes. You're the guy buying a letter. Don't come out on Shabbos. Actually, no, you didn't find it. You're thinking it. He's out in show. He's like, God, please let me win this sweepstake. Please let me win $1 million. There you go. And a week later, nothing happens. Goes to show again. God. Please let me win $1 million. Joking. No. Please. Another weekend buying nothing. God, please. Please give me $1 million. Then he hears a voice. Meet me halfway. Buy a ticket. Oh. I know you heard of it. Oh, I am. Next, I'm going. So sit next to the rabbi. Those are very good show there. Not their charity. Just have the water. Ask him if you can come. So him would have carried. Would have carried. Oh, you got it. Thank you. He mentions a break from the film. Felt like oh, I see. That's what's your guy. Like a living room. He had like behind glass and behind. I have to call it out. Professor, I can't remember the name. Professor. You said I'm to the professors. Some people do pronounce it, and I spoke. Wow. Well, it's so good. But it's like a normal. That's so nice. So say, let's ask them. You're saying that's wow. Yeah, that's very quick. He didn't want people to think that I didn't want okay. You're saying. I hear. Beautiful. Anyway, you're gonna go. Well, we'll talk. My pleasure. Okay. Thank you again. My pleasure. Yeah, why not? It's very nice. My pleasure. Yeah, thank you. You did coffee by actually by Bagel also. No. I used to do it by Bagel Hole when he first opened up years ago. 25. I'm another family for long years. If you can mention me, if you ever need coffee, I'll sell them. I sold them coffee. It was one of my first accounts. Yes. And then he had a place on Avenue Davy. Right. Avenue. Yeah, but I used to. I don't know. I started. Yeah. You know, no, but what happened? And Cashy's still the owner? And it's right. The Kollel family had it's right. Good morning.
I don't think I'll be able to. The church. I don't know. Morning, Hirsch. I got yes. Great.
Hirsch should be here soon. Yes. Yeah, but I have to put it together. When are you leaving? Tomorrow's the 2. Yeah. When? Around what time? In the morning. I'll put it right away. Thank you. Herschel, you want to join us? You want to join us at the lunch meeting? So, anyone, first or second, you come in. Okay. It's such a beautiful day. In the 4 days, Chazal say no Yid has a chance even to do an Aveda in these days. It's like amazing. So, okay.
I think you're ready. You're going to festival. Rishon idea.
Yes, it was a sweet year.
And I didn't see it, but I heard that there was something that happens this thing. Just when they went to Nice in France. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard. I don't know. I heard something happen. Oh, you
Someone called me up. He said, Rabbi, I just want to know what's the schedule for Simchas Torah because last year you had a disaster. So I said, what's the problem? And he said, you had reading the Torah again and again. It's not Minik Chabad. I'd like to explain myself. It's true. It's not true. It's not Minik Chabad. There's 3 minhagim how to run the show, and I'd like to discuss right now the pros and the cons of all 3 minhagim. None of them are perfect. The 3 ways of doing it, and none of them are perfect. But and because the time is short, bli neder, I'm going to try to make copies. There's a beautiful truth from the Tzemach Tzedek about Eisofis Bachlal. Chabad doesn't do Eisofis. There's those that don't do Eisofis. The Gro didn't do Eisofis. The Gro was Atzad. He was like crazy. He didn't do Eisofis. So on some, and I'll be again in a second to Shaila. Someone asked me. The Gro on Simchas Torah said there's 5 aliyahs. So what do you mean? There's a 6th one for Chosin Torah and a 7th for Chosin Bereshit? No, it's 5 aliyahs. So V'zoi Sabracha was 3 aliyahs. Chosin Torah was the 4th aliyah. Chosin Bereshit was the 5th aliyah. No Eisofis. Mamish, like, that's it. But Chabad does do it because Lapol, that's the Minhag Olam. But
ready to make more aliyahs for people?
Yeah. So Chabad does not make more aliyahs. Again, I'm setting the stage for the question. During the year, Chabad never makes extra aliyahs. You can stand on your head, will not make an extra aliyah. Why? I'm keeping you in suspense because I'm gonna do the lumdus on that between Mincha and Ma'ariv on the 1st or 2nd day of Sukkot.
I'm not here.
Oh, you see, maybe I'm gonna get you to change your plans. Okay. So there's a beautiful tshuva from the Tzemach Tzedek, and we're going to learn that tshuva. It's a very geshmak tshuva. Based on that tshuva, it'll also be with what we're doing right now.
What about people that get this?
That's what we're going to talk about right now. Yeah, we'll talk about this right now. So let's read it quickly. I made a copy of the Mishnah Brura. B'makim shoysim shnei yomim tovim leil tshi mekatshim v'eminim zman l'makim etzim shloisha sfonim v'koinim be'echad v'zoi sabrachat sefer Torah u'basheni. Man, I don't have more copies. You can just take a Mishnah Brura off the shelf. Basheni bereishis ad bora lakim lasas u'bashlishi koidim amayit k'mayefta etmol u'maftinim v'hi achrei mois. Oh, Mendel, here we have an extra copy. Okay, Sif Aleph, again, we just did the words of the Machaber, and now we'll do the words of the Ramah. According to Yom Tov Acher and Simchas Torah, the last day they called Simchas Torah, that they make a big Suda because we finished the Torah. That the minig is that the person that was Zoich to get Chosin Torah and Chosin Bereshis, they make a neder and a nedava, for the basic Knesses. Today the minig is that they make a kiddush. And so it sounds like a little bit. It's 2 separate minhagim. One is to give tzedakah, and the other one is that they make a mishta, they make a kiddush, and they invite everyone for this mishta.
There is a minute to take out the Torah. Also Arvis, which is an unusual thing. Kol Sifrei Torah Shebeheichel V'Emrim Zmidas V'Shishbachas L'chol Makom L'Fim En Hagait. V'Oid Nog L'Hakev Im Sifrei Torah Abima Shebebeis HaKnesset K'ma Shemakifim Alol V'Hakel Mishum Simcha V'Nog V'Oid L'Harbes Kruim L'Sefer Torah. That they add a lot of Kruim to the Sefer Torah. What does that mean? That means that instead of having one kohen, they have 10 kohenim. Instead of having one Levi, they have 12 Levim. Instead of having for shlishi one person, they have 30. We'll read the Mishnah Berurah in a second. And also they read over one parsha a lot of times, which is, again, both these things are egregious, because the fact that we do Esophes, for those that do Esophes, is that they break up the parsha. They read 3 psukim, stop, 3 psukim, stop, 3 psukim, stop. But you can't do it in the Zoy Sabrach, which is a tiny thing. So they're not reading 3 and stopping. What they're doing is they're reading and going back and back. They're reading the same thing. So what are you making a brach again and again and again? So either way, it seems egregious. The one bad minute, bad chas v'shom, that's the minute. Saying we're doing different. Mishum simchas Torah, we're doing something different than usual. Either we have, instead of one man making the bracha, we have 10 men going up for the same aliyah, or the alternative daily is we're doing Esophes, but not the regular Esophes. We're reading it again and again and again. And there's no Isser on this. The Rebbe once said that even though it's not minik Chabad to take the talus and to put it over the children and say Malach HaGoyel, but it's a very geschmack inyan, and for sure Beruchnius it's happening also b'Chabad. So a lot of times people ask me about certain minhagim in Beis Menachem Mendel. The Kollel, it's a Lubavitcher shul, so it's but sometimes it's there's little things that I'm not makpid because it's a geschmack minig, and it's not like it's like saying twice Kaddish after Hayom Yom. It's a halacha question. The Frierdiker Rebbe said that he thinks it's a bracha, it's a Kaddish levatola. And you don't play around with Kadeshim. So he said he was Machriya, then instead of saying 2 Kadeshim, one for Shishayam and one for the David Hashem, you wait 1 Kaddish. So I wouldn't allow that we should do differently because it's Achra that has to do with that. It's a Achra. Right? It's a Dafkanat. A minute like this, where the Rebbe said it's a Geshmak minute. Elamai Chabad, we don't do it for sure. Beruchnis, if someone wants to have his put a talus on his children and say Amalach HaGoyel, there's not even a shalom brochel batol or something like that. What's the big deal?
Rabbi, in Chicago,
yeah,
where my son's daven, in the shul there, in the core, you pay money, you put your name on tali. They have 9 talitot. Put it together, and they have like 100 kids under. It's so beautiful.
Wow, very nice.
All the talitot and the
very nice. I like that.
We have a Palmer Palace. It's a massive house.
Oh yeah, very Rabbi Khan.
Yeah. 25 by 30.
Oh, they're also there.
Rafal gave the Yesha Imrim Dafka Tamat Chochem Tzarech L'Saim. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped. Balayla Kodim Sefer Torah Hanadorim Shebetoira. Balayla, they also read the Sefer Torah. Chabad doesn't do it because it's only a minig. There's nothing in the shas for it. But even today, they don't do the original minig. What the original minig was to read special parshas in the Torah. Look in the Mishnah Berurah. Hema parshas sherigilan lamachim b'chalashona mibnaatzim v'noydin alein. Kuran parshas v'yitnu lecha parshas amalach hagoyel parshas v'yechulu parshas v'yerecha parshas matoivu she'elu nikir in the donim. Elamai b'yameina minig likri shloish gavre parshas v'zay sabrocha. The Tzarech Lam Kaddish Achar Kriya. But that's a Mishnah Berurah says, Tak, in his days, the minig was what today the Vel does. But the original minig was to read like favorite parshas, the favorite parshas in the Torah. There's a lot of minhagim mishum simcha that's around Simchas Torah, which are ancient minhagim.
Well, we have a favorite parsha in the Torah. Don't do it.
I know, it's a good question. I was waiting for someone to ask the question. Then he says, "V'afagav diyeshem nadavka tamat chalkim tzarich l'sayim b'zman hazeh shachaz and koida ein lofush." Even though some say dafka tamat chalkim must be misayim, but anyway, the chazan is doing it, so there's no problem. Mokim she'ein lam rak shev sefer Torah. Koidim bereshayna zes a bracha b'shinim bereishis v'choizim v'loikin harishayna l'inyana shel yoim. Okay. I want to go straight to the question which is negated to us. But before that, it's we're talking already about Simchas Torah, so we have to mention two things. First of all, look at the Bayit Hativ. That and the Bayit Hativ says Oisa Yom Beis HaKnesses Shut Dvar Shmuel Mumer Ladas Yishmaelim Shechoz Ladas Yisrael Vasa Tshuva Nachoina Umina Oza Lahola B'Teiris Shem Chefze V'Noig B'Yashrus V'Hoylech Tamim U'Poyel Tzedek Achol Echtiv Yisrael Akshenim Yochel Lias Chasan Torah Shuvas Chacham Tzvi Simen Yud Beis. They were so makpid in Kehilas to give the Chosan Torah, the Chosan Bereshis, to someone who's upstanding, that this guy converted to Islam and then he became a Baal Tshuva. And they were choishes to ask the Chacham Tzvi if they could give him the kibud of Chosan Torah, Chosan Bereshis. The Chacham Tzvi his name was Tzvi Ashkenazi, and he was a Rav in Amsterdam. No one in Amsterdam practiced Islam. So you have to understand a little bit, because the Chacham Tzvi was a Rav in Bosnia. What's the capital in Bosnia?
Bosnia-Herzegovina.
What's the name of the city? It was a Ir Ve'ein Yisrael. He was Ir Ve'ein Yisrael, and he was the Rav. He was the Rav in Bosnia, and he was the Rav there. He was the Sarajevo. He was in Sarajevo. He was the Rav in Sarajevo for many years. Huh? Yeah.
Point for
The Google help. So he was the Rav in Sarajevo, and in Sarajevo, the main Kehila, until Rahman al-Atzlan, the Nazis came and they killed the Rahman al-Atzlan, Al-Kiddush Hashem, the Yidden. There's people that think that the Shoah Yuma was just for Ashkenaz Jews. There was, if you'd say numbers, probably about 500,000 Rahman al-Atzlan, Kedoshim Atoirim was Sephardi Jews. The Jews of Greece, the Jews of Bosnia, there's in the Balkans, the Balkans were old Sephardi Jews, because in 1942 the Jews went from Spain in the boats, and wherever they could go, so wherever they could stop off, all the Balkan states, they were all Sephardi Jews, and they were all killed by the Germans. They all went like Kiddush Hashem. So he was the Rav in Bosnia. Sarajevo was a Ir Ve'ein Yisrael. So I think it was even called Yerushalayim, the Balkans. It was there were Yidden that were never forced to convert, and they came back to anyway. Just a funny. Okay. And now another one very funny thing. It's Sitkot Yudalef from the Mishnah Berurah B'Shem Simcha Kotzav Marik B'Shem Rav Hai Goen Yom Zeregilam Atzlan Lirkid Ba Afila Kamas Kainim V'Shoshaim Klusim LaToira. You understand? This minhag already goes back to the days of the Geonim. L'chein yesh lisametz lirkid u'lazamar l'choved ha'toira k'mitzkosov gabi David HaMelech ha'lavachal mefazaz ha'makarka v'kol oiz lifnei Hashem. To try to dance as hard as you could. L'chein kotzav b'Shem Arizal ve'idu al Arizal she'amru she'maylo al yoina she'hisik Boloi al yidei shaim esamech b'chol oiz b'simcha shel mitzvah v'gam ala goen. So the Arizal said that all his the Milo Yonah that he got in Kedusha was from his simcha shel mitzvah in general. In general, the simcha shel mitzvah. He was very happy every time he did a mitzvah. So from that he was zoichet to Kedusha Yonah. V'gam ala goen agro kos v'shay merakel lefnei hasefer Torah b'kol koicher. B'kol koicher.
Sounds like David HaMelech.
Yeah, unbelievable. So and that from this, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and we know that the Baal Shem Tov says that the whole story of the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov said that the Malachim came in the morning after Simchas Torah in the Gan Eden, and they got so confused. They ripped shoes and kapotas, and they went to and Malach or Matat said, that he's going to make a nicer crown for the Eibishter from the torn shoes and kapotas than from the Kedusha and the Kesed that Eden usually say. So I'm megodel that this story. In other words, that there is anyway. That's right. I'm very happy that today we're getting a chance to talk about a few issues in Simchas Torah, because usually we never have a Kol Yom mission close to like. And but Ashgocha Prot, there's a few people ask me questions about, especially this guy called complaining that about what happened last year. So let's address that shaila now. Sifyud Beis Laharbis Kruim Shem Kovad Torah. The reason that we have a lot. So is Mishum Kovad Torah. The reason we have a lot of Kruim is the Mishum Kovad Torah. V'oit Kadei Sheyisku that we want sheyisku kulam b'simchas haTorah. So it's like interesting. There's two reasons. One is it's a din in the Torah, and one it's a din in me. Like the Frierdiker Rebbe said, that when a Yid in Simchas Torah gets an Aliyah, all the levels of his neshama are elevated. And the can lick is shnayim bepam achas, or koyim kol hakoyim, belebim kol alavim. V'yesh mefakif kem al zeh. The El Yerabba miyashiv aminik. The El Yerabba is miyashiv the minik. There are those that mefakfik. There are those that mefakfik. Because the Yerushalmi, it says befedish in the Yerushalmi that it says befedish in the Yerushalmi that that it's a bracha levatolo. But then the Gemara in the Yerushalmi continues. Man, okay, bad. See if there's a set of lavush on that. I think we have a set of lavush. I just want to read it inside. It would be chelik beis or gimel in the set of the lavush. There's Yerushalmi. From the beginning of the Yerushalmi, it sounds like if two people are getting an aliyah, that would be a bracha lebatola. But then the Yerushalmi says, no, a different reason. But a lot of times when you go in the Hemshech Gemara, the shaila is the second reason was mavatal, the first reason or not mavatal. There's two ways of reading the Yerushalmi. So really, it's a shaila of how you read a Gemara. Okay? Yilotzes bebechotzo. She'echad yivorach lefaneo, v'yoytzach haveda, v'echad yivorach lachera, v'yoytzach haveda. One second. Wording shekayim godlim anarim, magodl yivorach anarim yishmu, v'yoytzach bebechotzo. Kazav chayodam, oh, thank you so much. Kazav chayodam, nocham dov, she'yivcharu asora, anoshim she'yishmu, v'chitz ha'toyr, v'yana hamen, kenogim kalos roish, kalos godl, she'en asora shemem kiris ha'toyr. Okay, let me explain 1 second before you ask. Let me explain what he's saying. He's saying is like this. The minig is, according to this first minig, that 10 people are saying Baruch Hashem Baruch, Baruch Hashem Baruch, Baruch Hashem Lakin Ma'ashanos Lonter. It's a Baruch Levatol. So let one man say the bracha, and 10 people will stand next to him and they'll answer, and have him on to be yoitze. Or the Mishnah Berurah says, let's split up. We need to spread the wealth. So let 2 men be oila. One will do the bracha Rishon and one will do the bracha Acharoina. Okay. So that the emphasis, like I said, it's totally in a Yerushalmi. It's a lumdus in a Yerushalmi because there's 2 ways of reading this Yerushalmi. The El Yerabba brings that the El Yerabba brings that there's a Yerushalmi. Pashat, it's a shayla how you read the Gemara. The Gemara says in Yerushalmi Perikei the brachas lo yiyeh shnei bnei adam kodim b'toyre omer of zira mipnei habracha. So it's mashma that the 2 people are going to make the bracha will be the bracha levatol. Then the Gemara goes on, no, there's a different reason why 2 people are not allowed to read. But the shaila is that the first reason still applies. So there's 2 ways. There's 2 ways of reading the Yerushalmi. The time is short, and I want to say alumnus for it. So if I'm going to start getting nitty-gritty in the Rishon, I want to say my lomdus, and a mitzvah Hashem, and a shir between Mincha and Ma'ariv in the first or second day Sukkot, I'll explore that lomdus. But I really think it's a good lomdus. When the person goes and makes a bracha the Torah, the pshat is it his chiv to make a bracha, not my chiv? What happens? I want to hear Kriyas Torah, but I have a very geshmak lashon hara I have to tell my chaver, and there's not enough time to do everything. So could I not listen to the Birchas Torah and just me and Sasson have a conversation? I listen to Kriyas Torah, but Birchas Torah. So that's, I think, told in the shadow that I'm asking.
But you don't have to answer Amen?
That's the question. The question, Amen for sure when you hear a bracha.
Okay.
But you have to, the shaila is, can I talk to you while he's making the bracha? Because I have a juicy lashon hara in the middle of telling you.
You never had.
Huh?
You never had.
No? So that's the question.
No,
No, you're allowed to. If you know a Yid made a bracha, you're allowed to say Amen. So the shaila is he making the bracha for me? There's 10 men in the room. There's 100 men in the room. Is the pshat is that we all have a chayiv really to make the bracha, and he's making it for us, and therefore I'm saying Amen, but I have to listen to the bracha because Shemei Ka'oina. I have to. Hold on 1 second. Amen is not even integral. Even if you don't say Amen, the main thing Amen is icing on the cake. The main thing is that you have to hear the bracha, or is it that it's his bracha, or is it his bracha? Then what's the nafkamina? What happens if everyone in the shul decide they want to make a bracha? Why should only he make a bracha? We all want to make a bracha. We all want to sit in mizrach. So if you would say that the chiyuv is only on him, So they made a bracha lebatola. If you say the chiyuv is really on everyone, so what do you care? Usually they're shemei ka'oin, and today they decided to make the bracha. Now, why would you say one way or the other way? Just because I want to say alumnus? No. I'll leave it for another time to establish why. But this would be the two ways of learning the Yerushalmi. And this would be the shaila with this minik. If you say that everyone is obligated to make the bracha, elamai, the shemei ka'oina. But today, 10 out of the 100 men in the shul decided to say Baruch Hu and to say the bracha. Big deal, that's not a problem. But if you say the chiyuv is only on the one person, so then the other people is taka bracha lebatola. So therefore, it's that's the shaila. Yeah.
My question, what the bracha? Asher bachar banu. Banu, it's everybody. It's not me or you or the other. Banu, it's everybody. So it has to be.
It's what's wrapped.
Rabbi, beyond what Sasson said, Kriyas Torah is a mitzvah on the tzibor that every
The shaila is about a bracha, not about the kriya. The shaila is about the bracha.
the bracha go. What I'm saying is, if the mitzvah Kriyas Torah is on the tzibor, then one designated person that's tzibor, he only has to amen.
Okay. So you like one of the ways. Okay.
Or I'm just or whether I like it. I think that's one. I think that's one.
That's one of the ways
in the picture.
Right? That's one of the ways. So the other way is also problematic. The Yisafis is also problematic. Why? Besides the fact that there is those that hold you're not allowed to do Yisafis, even those that hold that you're allowed to do Yisafis, but they're not doing Yisafis now. They're reading it again and again and again. So the shaila is what's better to do now. And there's a third way. What's the third way? To make multiple minyanim. Why does the Shulchan Aruch not mention such a thing? The Pashtus, because they didn't have that luxury. Kehillas back then didn't have 100 Sifrei Torah and so many Sifrei Torah and so many rooms and places to go. The Pashtus, they didn't have this luxury. Now,
Also say
also there is idea of Beroiv Am Hadas Melech, especially Simchas Torah, which we're dancing with the Torah. So there should be a big thing of Beroiv Am Hadas Melech. So therefore that's so there's a downside the bottom line, there's a minute that everyone should get an aliyah, but the thing is that you got to give up on something. So there's three ways of doing it. One is that 10 people will be oila for kohen, 12 will be oila for levi, and 30 will get shlishi, and 50 will get revi. Okay, the problem with that is we discussed the problem.
Anyone does it? I don't think so.
Yeah, in 770 they do that. And the Zalman Shimon Dvorkin,
At one time they were
said that they shouldn't even walk over to the Torah because it would be very hard it's 5,000 people in the room, and 1,000 people are getting one aliyah. So how does 1,000 people walk over to the Sefer Torah? It's of dangerous too. So the old Rav of Kronheit said that they should take a few talesim, and they should touch it in the beginning and end. They send it a roll around so the 70 people are kissing it, and then you have 1,000 people screaming Baruch Hu es Hashem HaMevoda. So you have read. Reb Zalman Shimon was nifter many years ago, so I can't ask him what. I think
practice yourself.
Sure, that's the way I grew up. So I think he probably meant that you should read it from the Chumash. Read it word for word with the Chazan. You're not b'fnim. Whatever. Anyway, Mishum Simchas Torah, but at least you should say it. So you could argue in the Lumdus if it was good enough, but you didn't lose anything by saying it. So I think that's probably part of what he meant and part of what he said. Like I said, he was the Rav in Kronheit. He was nifted, maybe Tov Shemam Aleph. I remember him, but it's not shy to ask him.
There's no other choice. You can't have
Yeah.
the whole day.
Why did he? So some people say, see, it's not Minik Chabad to read again and again and again. That's 5,000 men in the room. They asked Rabbi Dvorkin, what should we do? What eitzah out of the three eitzahs are going to work? This is the only eitzah that's going to work when you have 5,000 people in a room. So one second, you can't tell me that rabbis that because that's what they do in 770, that's not Minik Chabad. So what I allowed last year that they should do here, that they should read again and again and again. So you can't say it's against Minik Chabad, but the truth is, it took a very long time. And 1 second, it took a very long time, and it ended up taking about an hour and a half. There is a third pshara, which is that if you have extra Sifrei Torah, you can go out in side rooms. Why the Reb Am Hadras Melech? So you could say that everyone should come back for the dancing. For the dancing. Also, you could say a lot of times the smaller minyanim could read it a little quicker because it's that there's less what's happening. So at least already when it comes towards the end, at least the Chosim Bereshis, that everyone is already going to be back in the same big room.
Yeah.
So at least you're going to have a little bit the mile of Rov Amhadas Melech, and this is in a way the most kosher because you're not having the shaila of multiple people, you're not having the shaila of reading again and again. Now, but still, even if we're going to do this eitzah, there's nothing wrong with doing the other two eitzahs, because the truth is we don't have 24 Sifrei Torah and Beis Menachem Mendel, and the truth is to have 12 readings at the same time, it could get zooey. So there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with following the minig in the Shulchan Aruch. If you think the drawback is because of this lomdus or that lomdus lapoil, as the minig Yisrael Torah is Simchas Torah is to do one of the three. So if you want to do all three, that a few people will join, and we'll also have a second. It's nicht gefährlich because Lapoil, all these minhagim, it's all on Simchas Torah, and Lapoil, because on Simchas Torah, even though there is a tzad for each one, there's a tzad to say that it makes sense. So on Simchas Torah, because of the Simchas Torah, it's not like we're makel and barakel vatoila. I'm sorry that I'm using the word from the Reb Chaim Brisker. There's a famous word of Reb Chaim Brisker. Reb Chaim Brisker said that the Welt says that I'm a big makel on Yom Kippur. I'm a big makel lagabe the fasting. It's not true. I'm a big machmir in Safek pikuach nefesh. So you could say that in Simchas Torah we're not being makel in Safek bracha. We're very machmir in the Indian of kavod Torah, and because all these minhagim, each one has a tzad. So therefore, we want to add in the Simchas Torah. And as you see from the Arizal, and you see from the Gro, and you see from the Baal Shem Tov, and you see from Rabbi Sein Nusienu, that the Simcha of Simchas Torah is a gate for kedusha for the whole year. Huh? Yeah, exactly.
We've just been learning the Shulchan Aruch. Does the Baal Tanya or any of the Father Rebbeim?
They don't have. The Alter Rebbe doesn't have on Tov Reish Samachtes, so I can't say. Quickly. Yeah, that'll be between Milka, Ma'ariv, and Sukkot. Someone asked me if a coin could get Chosin Torah, Chosin Bereshis. The answer is absolutely yes. That's the way the Ramah brings in Shulchan Aruch Siman the Kuf Lamed Hey in Orach Chaim. If I would say there's a funny thing, if you go like the Gra, there's several reasons. The Mordechai says one of the reasons because Simchas Torah is a big simcha, we're not making cheshbonos. One of the three reasons the Mordechai gives is because he says this is not part of the regular 5 aliyahs of Yom Tov. So it's nicker that it's a separate cheshbon. So it's not chas v'sholem a pagam for the kohen or for the Levi. And Adarabah, if you're giving him the chivus that you're giving him chosin Torah, everyone understands it's not a pagam for the kohen gadol. I would say that now, if Taka, those that go with Minhag HaGora, which I'm not sure if there's today, but there is probably in Yerushalayim, there's a few places, and then Simchas Torah, they don't have 7 aliyahs, they have 5 aliyahs. Chosin Torah is number 4, and Chosin Bereshis is number 5. So your bottle, the main reason of the Mordechai, the other reason is Mishum Simchas. The main reason the Mordechai says you're allowed to is because you already did your 5 aliyahs. But according to those with the Minhag HaGora, that on Simchas Torah, they don't add. They do 5 aliyahs. They're the Puritans, Sheba Puritans. They're worse than 5 including Chosin Torah and Bereshis. So then Taka, the main reason of Mordechai's bottle, so therefore they shouldn't give it to a Kohen Valevi. But most of Klal Yisrael goes, even Chabad, it doesn't do a Sofas, but on Simchas Torah, first of all, I think would do a Sofas, and anyway, we do an extra 2 aliyahs for Chosin Torah, Chosin Bereshis, so it's not a problem.
You can get Kohen and Chosin Bereshis.
That's a separate child. So good question. Yes. The answer is yes. He could get Kohen and Chosin Torah, not Kohen and Chosin Bereshis, because Kohen and Chosin Bereshis, it'll look very bad. Because over there's a discussion. It's a good question. If he gets Kohen and Chosin Torah,
even if it's hours apart.
Why would it be hours apart?
You know,
It's not hours apart.
It's an hour and a half.
Huh?
Come on, in 5 aliyot.
No,
Doesn't
we
give
do
aliyot.
the kiddush and then we do the vehicles, but no, it's problematic. There are poskim that say that it's a question that's discussed in the Bad Hativ and Simon Kuf Lamed. I'm not inventing whatever the sword is this way, that way. Obviously, if it's so important to give, if say a coin was Adam Choshev and he wasn't another coin, so give him Chos and Torah. Why are you giving him Chos and Bereshit? Just give him Chos and Torah. Understand? Why do you have to? Okay, one more shaila. Because it's a separate Torah. And it looks bad because they would say that they look at another. Even though everyone knows, I know. You're not supposed to give one person. Doesn't matter because that's what the Gemara says by the Kohen Gadol and Yom Kippur, that they wanted to read two different parts,
Right.
and they didn't. Because he's because he's reading. So the Kohen Gadol, they didn't want to take out a second Sefer Torah because it doesn't look good because Mimshum Pugam Misharishan. And you could roll.
Right.
So you're not supposed to do it because it's Tiched Tzibura that there is 500,000 or 1,000,000 Jews standing in the Beis Hamikdash, and they're waiting to.
So what they do, they use different.
So what they did was Chazal said that he would hold the Sefer Torah
Right.
and he would say the other psukim Baal Peh, even though you're not supposed to say Baal Peh, and they relied on certain kulas to allow the Kohen Gadol to read it Baal Peh.
So I mean, they didn't have another Sefer Torah.
They had. They didn't want to take it out, that it shouldn't look like bad for the first of time.
Okay.
One more shayla. Someone asked me, and it's very negay because people ask it every year, and I have a beautiful article sitting on my desk on this. You know, there's sometimes contemporary, it's the best to read someone, he's Rebbe Eliyahu Bachbut. Buchbut. I don't know who he is, but he has beautiful svarim, 6 svarim. Look at Shoshanim.
He's known in Israel.
He has a beautiful article on this. Bedin azikonim miplastic letfisat aschach shelo titfenu ruach. So, bottom line,
What's your shaila?
the shaila is like this: the Mishnah says that the Yehuda says the Mishnah that you're not allowed to. The Mishnah says. Let me read the words of the Mishnah. Hasoymech sukotze bikari hamita. Rabbi Yehuda oimem eni yachol lamed b'fnei atzma pesula. That's what the Mishnah says. Rabbi Yehuda says that if you're going to add the bed to make the sukkah, it's not good. And the Gemara says why? There's a machlokes. One opinion is you're making your sukkah stand with a davar makabel tuma. Now the shayla is the halach is like Rabbi Yehuda. The halach is like this. The bottom line is. So when it comes to the Alter Rebbe says that if you put the schach on something which is not makabel tuma on 2x4s, and the 2x4s you're putting on davar makabel tuma, that's l'chol day is not a problem. The Alter Rebbe says, the walls of the sukkah itself is standing on karka oilam, and karka oilam is not kosher. You're not allowed to put sand. You can't use pieces of sand. Yeah, no, for whatever other reasons. So you see, the Alter Rebbe says as long as the schach is on the 2x4s and the 2x4s on davar makabel tuma, that doesn't bother me. So that's no problem. The problem is if you could. A lot of people have this problem. I didn't chapis. Someone explained to me why it's such a problem. Because when you have a mat on your sukkah and the wind goes underneath and it catches it, you have like the parachute effect. This is this is the lotion of the shoyl. I hear now. I use a mat, so that's why I never chap like what's the big deal. I put bamboos and I put green schach. I never have a problem. But now I chap what the problem is. I hear the parachute effect. So that what happens is they put a mat on the sukkah and the wind gets its way underneath.
Right.
And then another wind gives it a push and it goes flying away, and you have no sukkah left.
That's why you need
So the answer, the bottom line answer is there's a lot of discussion about this, but there is I think one of the best the tainus that he makes over here, which is a balabata shataina, is that usually the people that are doing it, if it was a ruach metzuya, the mat wouldn't fly off. Lamai, here and there could be a ruach she'ena metzuya.
Very windy.
Now, it's fine. It's not,
But they don't tie the schach.
so he says, so therefore, that's not called mamit. That's not called mamit because it would have stood well. Then Then this guy has a very nice thought. He says in Yerushalayim, huh? Because you're only trying to protect him Aruach She'ena Metzuya. So it's not a problem. That's one of 25 svaras why it's kosher. And then he says there are those that try to go out of the way to get twine or something. And he says, but it's bittul toida, because if you're a Kollel man, better use it from plastic and rely on the cooler. Anyway, then he has another cute thing.
He doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
It isn't common.
Yeah, it's not. You can't be misachik with plastic.
What's misachik mean?
You can't make schach from plastic.
No, but what about to tie it down?
So he says you're allowed to.
You're allowed to tie it down with plastic.
Yeah.
How is rope better or worse than plastic?
Which could be the twine is not a couple twine. Could be you'd be able to make schach with the twine. Depends which twine. Depends. Right. So those things you could. One second. So therefore he says it's mutagama, but he says in Yerushalayim it's a chiyuv de'eraisa.
Why?
He says why? He says number one, there's going to be a wind, and you're going to end up without a sukkah. So then, what are you going to do? You're not going to eat. You're going to fast. Okay. The main thing is where's the schach going to fly? On someone's head, and that's sakonas nefashos. So you're asking if we should rely on my kula about tying these little plastics. In the meantime, you're going to be a tzaddik. You're not going to tie down your schach, and then your schach is going to fly, and someone's going to get hurt.
But when you tie the schach in the corner, not in the under the sukkah,
What's different? Okay, no, that's not the fact that you did in the corner. That's not an answer.
it's not just schach.
But you're not sitting under.
Doesn't matter.
You're not
But
sitting there, yeah.
it's my myth. The shaila is no, that's not the answer. But the answer really is
It's not strong enough.
no. He says not use trying. It's a bit of toilet. You're wasting time trying to find twine. Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a mix of the
Yeah, he's living in Yerushalayim, and over there they're available in the store. The plastics. He says don't worry, it's fine. Anyway, okay, David shall helfen that we should see we should be in Sukkot Oilish Shalav Yosin the Mashiach Shekenu in Yerushalayim Ira Kodesh. We should celebrate the Simchas Torah together, just like in the Piyut with Avram and Yitzchak and Yankov, with David and Shlomo and Mashiach Tzidkenu.
Both shuls will be going.
Yes.
Who washed?
I did. I washed.
Okay, we have more.
We don't really
Consider it.
we know
What?
The president was in prison.
Yerushalayim.
Only if you're
We just did.
No, you- we have-
I got that for sure.
Good. Amazing.
Yeah.
Plan A is Yerushalayim. Plan A is Yerushalayim. Plan A is Yerushalayim.
Yes, that's always
The only plan.
Everything else is.
we have
Second. Of course, we're gonna say it momentarily in the benching.
no, we said
We're gonna say it in 2 minutes.
saying
Then
it's
Yerushalayim. Yeah, benching momentarily.
Yes.
But you gotta mean it.
Like you said.
All right, so who's gonna leave it?
That's an alley.
You want to? We'll be very busy this week with the promotions.
And do
Very
what about
busy.
that?
Well, that, of course. Of course.
We're there, it's closed every day.
Of course.
It's very
Yeah, so twice a day.
We're 2, 4 times.
Rabbi Simon ben Benjamin. He's a man of Bechmat Badel, Bashis, Mian, Ben Ben, Beit, and Bech, Shacham, Shroi.
So,
No, Shacham, Shroi, Come the Rajah Mikhail, in the Hadinaya, and it's